for another Two for Tuesday. Today's theme is how many shops is too many shops? I have shop owners call me up and say, hey, Reed, I'm thinking about opening up a second location or maybe even a third location. What do you think? So I have a special guest that has gone down the route of adding on additional shops. Let's go ahead and have my guest introduce himself.
My name's Aaron Clements, and I'm with CNC Automotive. We're located in Augusta, Georgia. We've been real fortunate in the automotive industry. We started with one location in 1977. My daughter joined us, and it helped us in the growing process. We expanded to added on 4 more locations over the years. This last one that we recently added on is a little bit different than the rest. It's about an hour and 10 minutes away. So it's our first experience with actually expanding out of our area. We do have some of the locations are here in Augusta. Some locations are in South Carolina. And this will be our second one in South Carolina.
Awesome, cool. Didn't realize how far you expanded out with this new location. I did make notice, I looked up, you didn't pick your second location until 2011, about 10 years ago is when you added your second location. You stayed at the first location for quite a long period of time before you jumped out. When did you decide to expand from one location to become 5 location shop owner? What made you decide to do that, and how much thought and effort did you put into it? Because it was a long time between the first and the second location.
It was. Reed, I enjoyed very much working with my father, and we worked together really well, and we were able to grow from the beginning with a couple of bays on up to a larger number of bays. And we did, during that time frame, move the location many times. And I look at it like stepping up the ladder. We had one instance where we needed a service advisor, and then we needed another technician, then we needed another service advisor, then we needed more parking places, then we needed more lifts and more technicians. So as the needs grew, we expanded the location or moved from one location to the next. When we moved up to roughly 15 bays, we purchased that building. And we quickly outgrew it. We were having to walk about a block away just to park the vehicles because there were so many, and it was taking like almost 45 minutes to an hour to pull the vehicles inside or have them in a place where they were secure. So we did find a dealership down the road that was for sale, and a fairly large building. We purchased that building, and it did take us a little bit of time to grow into that one because it was a lot of area there, a lot of bays. And as a matter of fact, in the beginning, we thought we would probably only fill up half of it, and we were prepared to lease or rent part of it. In just a few years, we filled it up and actually needed more. My daughter joined me and joined the company. And my sister, by the way, Velda Coleman, she has been a part of all this, and my parents have been a part of all this. Not to mention I could name people all day. My son, Brad, and just wonderful service advisors. What helped move things along with just wonderful people, Jim Berdishaw, Al Walsh, all them. So we started growing, and we didn't need more space. But I found that one of the things that brings me enjoyment is to see people being able to spread their wings and grow. And I knew that for my daughter to be happy, I knew for other members of our team to be happy, they would want to grow. And so over the years, all of these locations that I've named, other than the new one that we just recently opened, are managed by our existing crew and our existing team. And that means a lot to me. That means that they were able to grow, and they do very well. They love what they do, and they're able to be the managers at each one of these stores. And to me, that's very exciting.
Awesome. And a lot of shop owners don't see the idea that we need to create new opportunities for people, because if we don't, we'll just stifle them in and they'll want to go elsewhere possibly to get that fulfillment. That's pretty good that you had the vision to turn around and make sure you expanded for your team members.
Reed, I'll mention 2 quick notes on that. One of the hardest decisions I've ever made was moving one of our lead technician, drivability technician. He was awesome. I mean, just plain awesome. He could repair stuff. Moving him into a management position was very difficult because you're changing from someone who's producing a lot of dollars to someone who is managing people, not actually doing the producing. Another one was the best brake person I've ever seen in my life. Moving him from a position of doing brake and front end work, which he was awesome at, and moving him into the management position. And then there's 2 other ones I can name there, Marty and John Ryan Joe. They moved from being the best in their area that I have ever seen into a management position. Turns out those were the best decisions I could have made, because you're right. I really feel like that after a period of time, if they wasn't able to grow, they would get bored and they would find something else is what it amounts to, or not be happy, one of the two. And doing it this way, they were able to fulfill their dreams and do some of the things that they want to do, manage people. And it's been good for them and good for the company.
Very good. Very good. Question number 2 on our 2 for Tuesday. What is the biggest challenge to being a multiple location shop owner?
Wow, I can name a lot of those, Rick.
Looking for the biggest one now.
Oh, wow. People. Yeah, people. Finding people, without question. Yeah, as a matter of fact, just this morning, I have been looking at Indeed ads and other ads that we have in different places, looking for people. I interviewed a person yesterday afternoon, which was a Sunday afternoon. Had an interview then. You can find people, but finding good people is what's difficult. Got lucky yesterday. I believe that guy's going to be great. But people is the number one issue that we run into, because you got to figure if you got one shop and you got, let's say, 10 people on the team, you'll probably maybe once a month run into one that's going to call in, or once a month running into an issue with the family. It's a smaller deal. But when you grow to more locations, you're adding on double the amount of people. So practically every week you have something going on. A key person's on vacation. A key person has a health issue. A key person has family issues. So there's always something in that area going on that you have to tend to. So I would say that would be the number one deal that we run into anyway.
Awesome. That makes sense. And again, people are, with your business like my business, the people we have is a true reflection of the complete company. So it's really important to make sure you have somebody bought into the whole company as well. And then, as you just mentioned, your employment and staffing issues are multiplied by the multiple locations that you have. Completely understand that. And finding good, hard-working people is definitely a big challenge today in today's world.
And I will tell you, Reed, that if anyone who is interested in expanding, if you want to devote time in one particular place that can make the most impact on your business, and actually this is one location or many location, but that's people. You really have to spend time. And that includes making the people happy and being a good model for those people to follow.
Very true. Very true. All right, I got a bonus question for you. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
All right. At what point are you going to have too many shops?
Well, I'm a little concerned that we're a little bit like the farmer. And like many other shop owners also, is we don't want all the land, we just want the land next to ours. So I would say that it has more to do with what you can handle, what your tolerances are. And And a lot of that has to do, well, one, with the ability to find good people. If we could find good quality people, I don't think that there would be much limit to how to grow. But it's based a lot on how many good people you can find to help manage these businesses. It also has to do with how successful your current location is. Do you maximize the current location, and do you make profit on the current location? Because anytime you move into another or open another location, you're going to have surprises. That's going to be a sure thing. So whatever amount that you think you need to save up to get by and open that, you might double it because there's concerns get there. And if you are prepared, you have your money put away for it in case of emergencies, and you have good people or skills on finding good people. And if you're able to spend time away from your business, many times someone has an awesome business. I mean, they do very, very nicely. And then they open a second location and then find that to make the second location work, they have to be gone from there to spend time at the second location. Then the first location goes down. So they run back and they start working on the first location and get it back up. And then the second location's down. And that can be very frustrating. So if you're not ready, it can be a nightmare. If you are ready, it can be one of the most beautiful things you could ever do. So it is something that I do speak highly of. It can be a real good thing. Just number one, be prepared for it when the time comes with those items that I talked about.
Awesome. Yeah, the point that you made there of, hey, if you can't get away from your first location, there's no way that you could even think about ever opening up a second location. So those clients of mine that say, hey, I haven't taken a vacation, and they say they want to open up a second location, I said, you need to be able to take a vacation first before you open up the second location, because you got to be able to walk away from the first location. So true.
And what happens many times is people will be trucking along, everything's going good, they're maximizing, they're in the process of putting away money for when that time comes. You're in the process of getting ready to be able to spend that time off. But then that great deal comes along. The guy 10, 15 miles away says, hey, I'm going to sell my shop, and it's a great deal, too hard to pass up. And in some cases, if you really, if you know what's involved, you can make it work. Because sometimes having a second location is a lot like a family having a baby. I mean, you're not going to pick the perfect time, but you do want to at least meet those core criteria that I mentioned and be there. So if you're there and if you plan to do that, open a second location, you need to try to meet those as quickly as possible and have all the preparation there. And then that way, when that special opportunity does come along, you're sitting there ready for it.
Perfect. Great bit of advice, Aaron. I greatly appreciate it. I want to thank you so much for being a guest here on Two for Tuesday.
I enjoyed it, Reed, and I love your Steelers chair there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, they didn't do well this past weekend, but that's another story. But I want to thank you all those who have been watching our Two for Tuesday. And if you would like to be a guest or if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Please send me an email at reed@parmellis.com. Thank you again for watching Two for Tuesday.
Thank you, Reed.